Hello, my name is Noutek. This is Super Auto Pets. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. If you're not aware, there's a new patch that just came out for Super Auto Pets, so I just want to take the opportunity to talk to you about my thoughts on the patch, just give you a rundown of all the changes, and then ultimately just let you know what I think and what I think the meta might be. And so if you're looking for some gameplay, or if you're looking for some really in-depth knowledge around the patch, this is not the video for you. I would recommend two other channels to check out though. Both Total Frog, I think, is doing a video on this, and so is Goldymon, and their channels will be in the description below. So if you're interested in checking out some really in-depth stuff and have some other opinions besides mine, if you watch this video and you're like, I don't agree with you, Nate, I want someone else to support me, go watch one of those channels, and they all make great content for Super Auto Pets. Given all of that, there's also another announcement I'm going to make. We're approaching 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely a milestone. I appreciate the support so much. And so actually this Sunday, let me double check the date. I know that it's going to be the December 12th on Sunday. We are going to do a live stream on Twitch at my normal time that I would upload, so 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and do a live stream. And we're going to do some versus mode, we're going to do some arena runs, and we're going to talk and hang out and celebrate the fact that we hit this kind of small milestone together. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So hey, mark your calendars. This Sunday, December 12th, at the Metrodome. By the way, the Twitch channel link will be in the description as well. So, and I'll leave a comment around that. All right, let's jump right into it. We're not gonna be going into like any like individual. All right, like we're not gonna be jumping into a game, so I'm gonna be using the overview page to talk about all of the changes. Okay, so let's go over the changes here. We have Ant. There's actually not really any changes to Ant, right? Beaver still seems consistent. Cricket, still the same line. Okay, Duck's the first major change here. So if you've noticed, the old Duck was a 1-2 tier 1, but it gave the shop pets +1/+1 and then +2/+2, and then it ranked up. Now it's not to give any attack. And so I've gone back and forth what's more important in the early game. And while health is definitely more stronger in the mid to late game, attack is like king early, right? You want those value traits of a high attack unit. So Duck definitely does get a nerf here, but I still think it's viable. It just becomes you buy a Duck and sell it to get like a good increase on some valuable pets in your shop, over trying to do like, I just hoard all the Ducks in the game and then sell it. Awesome. Fish being a 2/3, still tier 1, the same line. Give all your friends +1/+1 for level up, and then +2/+2 for level 2. I think this is fantastic. The change here is that level 3 is going to have no effect. So, which is kind of sad, but Fish used to be, I think, one of the best tempo units in the game. Maybe among, above Otter, but it's still pretty good. Horse is now a 2/1. So it used to be a 1/1. It gets one more attack. I do think this gives Horse a little bit more value, but I actually would have rather seen Horse be a 1/2. To not get sniped by a mosquito, to give it a little bit more of a buff. But 2/1's good. It helps it trade a little bit nicer with some of the early game. But I think maybe testing it as a 1/2 would have been a little bit too strong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Mosquito, I'm super excited about. So Mosquito is now a 2/2. And then each level is going to deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So instead of increasing the damage, you now at level 3 have deal 1 damage to 3 random enemies. This is like a melon killer, right? So if you have like a tiger behind a mosquito, there's not going to be any like pre-melon shenanigans you have to go up against. Mosquito's like a legit tier 1 unit that can show up in your final build as like you level it up. So Mosquito is fantastic. Like, it's really cool to see Mosquito get a buff. I like it. It's just a strong line now. Effectively makes it a 3/2, which then makes it I guess it would have been the only 3 attack unit on tier 1, but that's not true anymore as we get down a couple more. As we continue, Otter, effectively unchanged. You're going to start seeing people use a lot more Otters in the game now that, you can't use Duck strat, and that Fish is not as valuable. So Otter's definitely going to be your best tempo unit in the game right now. Pig being a 3/1. I thought Pig was perfect. I don't think Pig needed a change. Like, it was a 2/2 for 2 gold, essentially, right? Or no, it was a 2/2 for 1 gold. yeah, 1 gold for 2/2 stats was just fantastic in the early game. It gave you some leverage in your later turns. It's a great unit to cycle based off of all of your buy-sell builds that were going around. I feel like Pig being a 3/1 is weird. It's not really thematic. I want a Pig to be a beefy boy, right? Make it a 1/3. Like, if you're gonna do something, make it like a, you know, he's not an attack pig. He's a chunky boy. Give him some HP. So I actually, you know, ability, yeah, keep it all the same, but I actually would have preferred if they just switched the stat line to a 1/3. Okay. Now we're effectively moving into the tier 2s. We're making good time. I'm trying to keep this video like under 20 minutes, but here we go as I talk for like 40 minutes. Crab 3/3 tier 2. Buy copy health from the most healthy friend. So this is no longer going to be an effect that it captures within combat. This will be an effect that captures when you buy it and place the unit. And it takes whatever HP is the highest HP. This is kind of crazy. I'm not quite sure. I haven't theory craft enough, but I generally think this is stronger than like I think this is stronger than what it used to be. Granted, you're saying, well, I can't just keep scaling a dog and then get it to a 50/50, and my same crab that I've had the whole game would only have it, you know, be a 320 instead of a 350. But the fact is, nothing's stopping you from just swapping out the crab or buying a crab and leveling it up. So I think this helps crab quite a bit, and then also gives crab its own identity, which I think is very important to the health of the game, is that crab never really had its own identity beyond just being sort of like a comeback. Like, if you already got a scaling unit, you can sort of keep it scaling, but you know, it was only so effective. I think this is an interesting play. This is going to cause us to do some other interesting things, maybe value food a little bit more. So I'm interested. I want to play with crab a little bit more. Dodo. So this is quite a bit of a change as well, right? So Dodo, Rooster was obviously very bad. Nerf both of them. We'll see how it goes. Level 1, half of its attack goes ahead. Level 2, all of its attack goes ahead. And then 3, you know, give it 150%. So, you know, its attack plus half. This is a fine change. Dodo was a strong in general to like anything that you throw in behind it or in front of it. So I think this is a good change. Like, generally everything that I've liked so far, every change is good so far except for, you know, the pig. All right, elephant. Was there any changes to an elephant? No, there wasn't. Elephant needs its own identity. I would like to see elephant changed in the future. Flamingo's the same. Hedgehog's the same. Peacock is the same. All good there. Okay. So rat is a 4/5 tier 2, summon a 1/1 dirty rat for the opponent. I think this is something that's actually missing from the overview here. And they kept going back and forth on the test. So this is something that you'll want to probably go over to like Total Frog's video to see more clearly. But I think like the 1/1 dirty rat does more damage. Like, it does 3 damage instead of 1 to the unit in front of it. So yes, I'll be honest, I don't know the details around the rat, but I think there was an adjustment made here. There was just so many changes in the test server, it was hard to keep up. Shrimp being a 2/3, I think Shrimp was a 2/1 before, right? So give it a little bit more is lovely to see. And I would like to see Shrimp be able to buff itself, but I recognize it's kind of nice. So give a random friend. I guess it says give a random friend, so it could technically be itself. I don't know the details around that either. Okay. This is pretty cool. I like the changes to Spider here. So there is actually a slight change to how Spider works. And so now you'll summon a level 1 tier pet at 2/2, a level 2 at 2/2, and a level 3 at 2/2. So no matter what, the Spider will output a 2/2 unit. It will just give it a higher tier of that unit, of a tier 3 pet. So, you know, you're looking at a level 2 Spider shooting out a level 2 turtle, a level 2 kangaroo. It's weird. I like that Spider sort of has like this little, like, it's a little spider that does big things. I don't know if it's all that usable. In general, Spider didn't really have a ton of use. All right. Swan, 3/3, tier 2. So if you don't remember, Swan was a 3/4, so it just made it to a 3/3. Totally okay with this change. I still love Swan, best unit in the game. Badger. Looks pretty consistent. Oh, by the way, we're in tier 3s now, so that seems to be consistent. Blowfish, no changes. Camel, no changes it looks like. Wait a minute, there might have been a change here. I think you get more HP now, because it used to be the same attack, same HP. If that's the case, a level 3 Camel does not seem to be that bad, because I think before, did it address multiple units behind it, and now it just focuses on the unit behind it? It's still a hurt mechanic. If they make Camel the same mechanic as Elephant, where it is a before attack ability, I think it would be a lot better. But Camel definitely has a place. Okay, here's another big change here. Dog is now a tier 3. So it's the same ability as before, same stat line, just a tier 3. I think this is a good change. This will slow Dog down a little bit. It's still a very good unit, even for tier 3. So you'll still see dogs. Dog is still good. It's like moving it to tier 3 is not that detrimental, but it will slow it down. All right, Giraffe, a 2-5. Yeah, just give it a little bit more HP. Sounds good. I kind of wish... Here's the problem. I know it's only a tier 3, but +1/+1 is just not enough to keep it. So, you know, Giraffe gets outscaled so quickly. I would love to see Giraffe get... I don't know. I guess you have... Penguin at 4, right? So maybe Giraffe does belong at 3. I don't the extra HP doesn't really do a whole lot. You don't buy Giraffe for the stats, you buy it for its ability, and so it's kind of irrelevant. Kangaroo, a 1-2 tier 3, so same ability as before, but change the stat line. This is fine. It's still small enough of adjustment. It slows it down a little bit, but ultimately if you're gonna play Kangaroo, you're not gonna see, I feel like, that major of an adjustment, given that everything else was also nerfed. So if you try to bring everything below the line, Kangaroo is still gonna be fine in the meta, I think. Ox is a 1-4. It seems to be consistently the same thing. Rabbit 3-2 tier 3. I really want Rabbit to work. It doesn't really work all that much, but it's great to see. Yeah, I'm wondering if you have the Swirl buff, that somehow a Rabbit Seal combination can happen. So that's something maybe to test out and to see how you like it. It's awesome in the late game, but is it really giving you all that value? It pairs really well with like salad, right? And then once you get to the later game, the, you know, sushi, pizza, any of those higher, you know, give a little bit more attack value to a unit, and then give it that additional health would be fantastic to see. So it's great to see like a more focus on items, because probably me over other people that you might watch and get an opinion on is I care a lot more about the items. Okay, sheep is fine. Snail, now does it give you as much HP? This still makes Snail pretty good, because what do you need when you're kind of behind and you're losing is probably just some more value trades. So the fact that it still gives attack is fine. You don't get as much value, you know, when you're not getting that HP buff, but still getting like the +2/+1 is still fantastic. All right, Turtle being a 1-2, perfectly fine. Turtle is like so easy to pill. A lot of people pill it anyway, so you don't feel as bad now that it's a smaller unit. But even just ability to scale it, like, sure, you kind of lose some value your first turn, but after that, you're totally fine. Bison seems to be the exact same. Deer is exactly the same. The one thing I'd be really curious about, because Deer's kind of in a weird spot where it's like not as strong as it should be, and that I wonder, you can't make it like Bus does splash damage equal to its attack, because then you can just pill a Bus and then make it super strong and have like insane like a 50/50 Bus that does 50 attack till it splash. But I would like to see like the splash attack get upgraded with the level itself. So I know it would be a new mechanic to upgrade the splash, but it would be great to see a level 2 Bus do $10, not $10, 10 damage in splash, and then a level 3 Bus or a level 3 Deer do 15 in splash. I think you would see Deer used a lot more, and leveling it up would make more sense. And then also that would pair well with the whale, right? All right, Dolphin. Seems to be the same stat line. Yep, it seems fine. Dolphin's is kind of a weird tier 4 unit. Hippo looks about the same. Parrot is pretty interesting. It looked like it got increased, right? A 6/3. I think that's a buff to its stat line. I think Parrot's actually a very valuable unit. And now that we've seen Tiger make a change, we're going to be seeing more Parrots. So Tiger, when we get to it, we'll explain it and then we'll come back. Penguin, yes, what I was talking about before. I don't think Penguin has its own identity quite yet, but the fact that we're seeing a little bit change in the meta, nerfing things, give it a little bit more value and leveling things up, might see an increase in Penguin play. Rooster is a big change here. We got a 5-3 Rooster, but it's very interesting to see that. So the levels increase, you do increase those ticks, but it's only half of the attack. So if you have a 20-20 Rooster, it'll summon a 10-1 kick. Perfectly fine. I still think this is an incredibly strong unit. We're still going to be seeing Roosters. There's so much value you're getting out of this, right? So even if you have like a 40 attack Rooster at level 3, you're still summoning 60 more attack. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, so people are, I think, overreacting on the Dodo Rooster change, but this is still very good. Trust me. Skunk, happy to see Skunk doing good. Okay, so Swirl is start of turn, so you don't get to choose the... Well, I guess, yeah, so you would be able to choose what the food is. So you can freeze food, and then discount the shop food by 1 gold, 2 gold, or 3 gold. And so I think it works a lot like the Dromedary, where it's only going to be those first 2 items, or if you froze something. So at least it's not going to re-roll your turn. And so, you know, you're looking at cheaper cans, cheaper chocolates. This is kind of crazy, because this would allow you to... Level 3, you would get, right, 6 gold every single turn. This is incredibly cost effective and a great way to play if you want to play greedy, but you need a way of scaling the Swirl. So if you can pair it up with something else in the late game, really strong. Whale is now a tier 3. Fantastic change, because this will now let people know that Whale is trash. You heard it here first, folks. This is my hot take. It's not a secret. I hate Whale. Whale is garbage at tier 3. It is now garbage at tier 4. Goodbye, Whale. I'll never see you again. Worm, I think, got a buff from a 1-1 to a 2-2. That's okay. Whatever. Cow, a big change. Big change. The respect that Cow deserves. You will now get 2 free milks. And I know, yes, it's no longer a 2-2. But when you level up the Cow, you get those additional stats. Oh, can you imagine getting 2 milks that give you +3, +6 a piece? Oh, I need to... Where's my fan? I gotta cool myself down. Alright, stop it. Alright, we'll keep moving. Crocodile, stat change, same ability, no problem. Monkey's a tier 5. Ooh, this one kind of hurts. Big fan of a monkey. I'm a monkey myself. Yes, this seems okay, but I liked it being a tier 4 because... No, was this a tier 5 before? I would like to see this at a tier 4. And I would even be okay with it being a tier 3, and then just lowering the ability. Monkey seems very slow, because you're already at tier 5 and you're now just starting it. It seems like you're just cycling out for something in tier 6 to be better. So I don't think Monkey sticks around long enough to be relevant. But on turn 7, if you can find a monkey, fantastic, right? On turn 7, if you triple and you see a monkey, you're buying that monkey. But past that, it just, I don't know, doesn't really seem all that worth it. But we'll see. Maybe games just are slower now because of it, and you'll get more value. Rhino seems fine. Scorpion, yep, no problem there. Change it. The Seal being a 3-8. Seal's in a weird spot. I think with the changes to Squirrel, you could potentially see Seal work a little bit better than it has in the past, but I'm not quite sure about that. Shark, something's gotta... I like the fact that Shark gets more attack. It's kind of like its attack identity, but I wish it had some other ability. I think Shark needs its own identity, so I'm hoping that the devs can make some change to Shark to give it more identity, and I'd be curious to see where to make this fit in the game, because it doesn't really have a place right now. Turkey, now a 3-4. Yeah, seems totally fine, unchanged, especially with the changes to Fly and Tiger and all those other things. Turkey's fine. We're not really seeing all the summon and builds all that much appear anyways. Boar, 8-6 tier 6, the new unit. I have no thoughts on this, by the way. I have to experiment, I have to play with it. Just before attack abilities, I think should be more of in the game, like I talked about in respect to the camel. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't really have any thoughts on this. I think it's actually good. It's a reverse hippo if you think about it, right? Because a hippo needs to kill something to get +2/+2. This is going to be a hippo before it attacks. So boar is reverse hippo. That's all you need to know. And I do think that's good. I just don't think it's good for a tier 6. Cat 4/5 tier 6. What did they? The cat is gonna be king. The black cat's gonna be king. I've been on the black cat train for a while. You're gonna see so many of this. I can't wait to have a black cat, like a level 3 black cat with a level 3 cow happen. That is my dream right now. Because if you do the math, that would be what? A plus 12 plus 24 per milk. Excuse me? Granted, it takes 2 level 3s to do it, but that's that. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Dragon is fantastic. Dragon's probably still going to be a fantastic unit to have. It's a scaling engine. Yep, excited to keep using Dragon. Fly made a change. I like this change to fly. So when a friend fates, it summons a 5/5 and it's placed at level 1, level 2 at 10/10, level 3 a 15/15. This is the anti-deer build, right? And just to note that it only triggers, I think, 3 times a turn, which is not indicated here. So it's not every unit, but still, it's like, this is really strong. And leveling up the fly is insane. So you're gonna see tiger turkey build still, and they're gonna be good. And I think you're gonna see more. Technically, would parrot work with fly? So if you have a parrot behind a fly, and let's say something dies that summons a 5/5 fly, and then that 5/5 fly dies, will the parrot then allow that 5/5 fly to summon another 5/5 fly? Did that make sense? Am I going crazy? If that works, that's completely broken, by the way. There's your free win if that works. Gorilla's the same. Leopard's still fantastic if you just have a scaling engine. Mammoth, I would like to see a buff on it. Gave it more HP. Honestly, what if you just made Mammoth like a 320? Just like YOLO a 320 out there just to see what happens. Just to like try to tank some hits. It needed more of identity than just like, oh, it's a low attack, big HP unit baseline that's more than anything else. Even like a 312 or 412, like just give it like the sauropod stat line and see what happens. I wish they did more with the Mammoth. Snake is still very good. And then the Tiger. Big changes here. So as you notice now, you will need to level up the Tiger to see its increased ability. Fine. Perfect change. Yeah, this is a good change here. And I don't believe there was any changes to any of the food items. So, hey, we're 23 minutes in. And we're just now getting to the expansion here. It saved my spot, didn't it? Okay. So we're going to run through the expansion. I'm much more passionate about the standard pack. All right. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Everyone was asking for a longer video. So here's Noutek Talks. The first podcast on the channel where I just slowly scroll and talk about stuff. And then, hey, I haven't taken a drink of water yet. I am passionate about this. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, okay? All right, cool. All right, what do we got here? We got ant. We kind of talked about that before. Beetle, no changes. Bluebird, no changes. Cricket, fish. We talked about fish already. Ladybug. I've been seeing a lot more ladybugs, and I don't know why. I don't understand why Ladybug is good. If you think Ladybug is good, let me know. Once again, it's kind of like I like the buy food mechanic, but it's a temporary buff. And if you don't remember, I actually did a viewer voicemail a while back that talked about if I was going to add any pen into the game. And I said a panda or red panda, and I'd want the temporary buffs to stay permanent. So I wonder if Ladybug could have some identity where when you buy food, it like gives that to a random unit, right? Itself doesn't get buffed, but maybe something else gets it. I don't know, just a thought. I'm no game designer or balancer, okay? Mosquito we know is good. Bat is fine. Like the bat weakness is still, I think, 3 damage, so that's fine. No problems there. The Dromedary I think is a very cool unit. I like Dromedary a lot, especially with the nerf to duck. dromedary is going to be more value here. So think about what you were trying to do with the duck that you can now do with the dromedary, and then being able to freeze units. So don't sleep on the dromedary. There's a lot of tempo play available, especially when you're trying to get those value units out early. A +1 to like a peacock is fantastic, right? Makes it go from like, to like, oh wait a minute, this is actually kind of a decent unit. Flamingo is pretty much the consistent hedgehog. Yep, all the same. We talked about rat before. Shrimp, spider, swan, tabby cat. Once again, I would like to see its ability, I don't know, be something more consistent. This is totally a glass cannon build, which maybe makes sense later in when you have like an engine for money and to get discounts via the squirrel. You can see tabby cat move itself maybe to the mid to late game, but I would like it to somehow like keep its identity of not just being temporary buffs, because temporary buffs are so bad in this game, of like having to, okay, every turn, if I want to keep consistently winning, I just need to start spending all my money on food, right? It's like, you want ways to win without like that major risk of it just eventually falls off, right? What you're saying with tabby cat is, I'm going to get you to 7 wins, but you're not going to go past that. And I think they need to address it that every pet should have a space in a final build. There should be some utility there. And granted there is, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it has an identity. And I know I'm saying that a lot because it's what I think, okay? Caterpillar is the same. Yeah, it's fine. No changes to Caterpillar. We already talked about dog. Hatch and chick. Love Hatch and chick. I actually wish this got a buff somehow. What if you moved like Hatch and Chick to a tier 2? That'd be too strong, right, on its ability. Like if you made this a tier 2 and then made this one +2/+2, this +1/+1 permanently, or +2/+2. Just make it both +2/+2 and then give the one experience. Because by that time you can get like by tier 4s you would have it like an auto chocolate. I don't know, that's probably too strong though. Puppy is actually a pretty major change here. It used to be you had to have 2 or more gold, and now you need 3 or more gold. Does this, out of context, please do not screen cap this. Does this kill the puppy? No, it doesn't. You're sacrificing 3 gold for 2/2 a turn. So you're sacrificing the ability to buy a unit or buy a food. This is good early, but becomes really bad very quickly. And that's all I have to say. This doesn't kill the puppy, but this dramatically makes the puppy worse. I think, but we'll see. We'll see. Rabbit, sheep, snail, we already talked about. Fish. Tropical fish. I like tropical fish. I just... it needed like... It's just kind of there. You kind of throw it in for a turn and then it gets sold. Turtle changes is fine. Bison, buffalo. I think buffalo, with the changes to both the dog and the puppy, we could definitely be seeing more buffaloes. Once again, allowing those to be later causes buffalo to be a little bit later and slower, but I think it still works. It's a viable engine. Here's a big change. Dolphin is now in the second pack, the expansion pack. So when you have those caterpillars, when they're going to evolve into that 1/1 butterfly, the dolphin will kill it. So it's definitely like an engine to counter the caterpillar. So before you would need to have like a high level skunk to pretty much counter it. This is a direct counter. It's going to attack the butterfly every single time. Fantastic. It gives you some counterplay. Awesome. This makes this really good in versus, by the way. When you can actually know what your opponent has and then play around it. So, yeah, great to see that. Lobster, I do think did make a change here, right? Because it used to be 3/3. Now it's a little less. I think the stat line got increased. I don't really understand lobster. I'm no expert. I'm no lobster expert. I'm not from Maine. Come on. Microbe 1/1 tier 4. When it faints, make all the pets weak. I think they were trying to make some adjustments to this, so I don't know if there's more to this than just this. It is now a tier 4. So I still think the weak is just 3 damage. This being a tier 4 makes it very weird. Yes, it's a great, like, if you feel like you're losing, biomicrobe. This will allow you to get more value trades and probably sneak out a couple more wins to try to find some other way to scale and win. So giving you an out earlier, I think is okay, but it's still a weird decision, I feel like. Rooster, we already talked about. Skunk, love you, boy. Love you, stinky boy. Peace up. Squirrel, we like. Worm is fine. Chicken, okay. I already said chicken was good. I've uploaded multiple videos using chicken. Chicken did not need a buff. And guess what? The chicken got reverted, right? Because at first they gave it a buff and they were like, that was a little bit too strong. So I'm okay with this. Chicken seems totally okay. I think the stat line got decreased, and before it was given animals more HP, which would help in the late game anyways. I think chicken can be changed, but yeah, we're gonna see more chickens. It's a good unit. Go buy it, try it out. You just need to be playing Temple the whole game to be able to have enough HP to sacrifice a turn or two to get that engine moving. Cow, we already talked about. Fantastic. Eagle, I think we're actually just seeing more up. One of the things that you're starting to see is people leveling up eagles and mushroom in it, which is kind of a great summon and build and expansion. Especially when things are going to be slower. This is going to be, I think, really good. There's going to be a lot of value in the eagle. The goat. I think this is, friend bought, gain 3 gold. This did get a buff, right? I'm trying to think, because it would give you 1 gold, but it would do it 9 times. Correct, right? So the goat giving you a friend bot, gain 3 gold at level 3. Is it just 1 time, or is it just get triggered once or 2 or 3 times? I don't know the details around that. Even if it's just 1, this is great value, right? So this is, if you invest enough into Go and can scale it, especially when you're dealing with a chicken, you get a free pet every single turn, and that's a lot of value. Like, just being able to buy anything you want for free once a turn for the last few turns to get to 10 wins. This is pretty powerful. I think Goat's really strong right now, especially with this change here. Even early on, like just the quick discounts here of trying to cycle through stuff, this is gonna work great with the Buffalo build. Poodle got moved to a tier 5. So usually you're like what am I looking for when I'm on tier 3 and I triple into a tier 4? It was always Poodle. Poodle becoming a 2/2 and a tier 5, I think is a good change. You're not able to have like those turn 7 Poodle games or like the turn 5 Poodle games anymore. That's okay. Poodle is a lot of value very early. The game's getting slower, right? So it's going to be a war of attrition when it comes to super auto pets now. Rhino's fine, Scorpion's fine, we talked about that. Boar is also in the expansion, so that's good to know. Octopus doesn't seem to have any changes here. The Sauropod. Sauropod is something I've never really gone into pop off. But technically, if you paired this up with a level 3 squirrel, which, does that exist in the expansion? It does. When you, technically, if you had a level 3 squirrel and a level 2 sauropod, that's money generation. Because that would give you 6 gold for free every single turn. So you would start every turn with 16 gold. That sounds awesome. I don't know if that's actually feasible or not, but that's definitely like food becomes like a real late game strat when you're getting 16 gold every single turn. And so you see the changes to Tiger Cub, that's fine. And then the T-Rex, this is cool. So instead of giving everything like a, what was it, a +2/+2 or +4/+4, now I kind of like it, kind of goes thematic to what a T-Rex is. It goes roar and it attacks, and so it should have more attack than it does have HP. This is a cool change. I like this a lot. Yeah, T-Rex is still probably the best unit in the expansion pack. And then there's no changes to the food items here. All right, cool. We did a lot of talking today. When I started this video, I was like, hey, what's up? We're to talk. We're gonna do this long video. And then as I was going, I was like, let me hit this. I was like moving further and further and further and further back, trying to relax. But all right, given all of that, those are my thoughts on the expansion. I think it's going to be a super fun and exciting time for the meta. I'm super excited to get in there and play at the moment that I've actually talked about all of these pets, I have not played a game yet. So let's hope that tomorrow I can play a fun one, and then you'll be looking, have something to look forward to tomorrow. So just some final thoughts. I love the changes. I'm so excited to play. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this of me talking longer in durations and more of a podcast form, let me know. Maybe it gives you something to listen to. Hopefully this video turned out good. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Yes. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and thanks for everything. Bye-bye.